I think it's imperative that we don't try and become clones of the rest of the industrialized world. We have immensely beneficial attributes at this edge of the world, and the primary one is obviously due to our cultural upbringing, our isolation, our history, is the way we think. The way we think is different to the way other people think anywhere else in the world, and therefore we should stop and think about the way we think and see what is unique, because in this homogenized, vanilla-flavored world, this franchised, blister-packed humanity that's starting to unfold, the discerning buyer, the discerning client is looking for the unique, looking for the innovative, looking for the thing with spark. And in this culture, there is spark. There still is a self-belief that you can wake up on Monday morning and set about doing anything that you dreamed about that night. And in the process, of course, that level of self-belief motivates wonders that possibly a more systematic culture would not achieve. There is huge innovation all over the world, and it's certainly not to undersell the abilities of the immense number of very, very talented people that are coming up with things every day. But we've got to not look at individuals, but rather look at the mass of our culture. It's no good if just a few special people are getting to achieve great things. It's imperative that the young people in our country are coming through the schools knowing that they can pursue innovative thought and creative talents, and ultimately find personal wealth and riches in those efforts.
I was talking yesterday to Rick Wells in Wellington. He's a founder of a very innovative furniture design that employs a range of technologies.
Yeah, Formway, I know the company very well.
And Rick was saying that other countries may have an inheritance of design and aesthetics and beauty from Europe, for instance, but that inheritance is at the same time
a cumbrance.
Because no they have the weight of the past and the things that they can't do. But he said in New Zealand nobody's told us we can't do it, so anything is possible.
No, ignorance is our greatest ally.
So you agree with that?
I emphatically, at every level, I agree that the encumbrance that comes with past cultures in some of the countries of the world is a curse that we don't have in this country, that we can draw on those cultures because of our knowledge and our studies of them, but they don't weigh on our everyday thought. We can bring a level of creativity and original thought to creativity that maybe some people wouldn't naturally bring, because of the freshness, the youth of our nation, and the bright and bubbly way that people still tend to think here. Mm. I've often said that ignorance has been our greatest ally. No one ever told us we couldn't do it, so we just got up and did it anyway. And in that process, a lot of innovation has come to the fore. We've discovered that the lack of knowledge or lack of preset technique has allowed us to experiment around the edges of the industry and ultimately come up with a lot of innovative ways to solve things. We've really enjoyed the isolation that the country has afforded us and the industry has afforded us. It took us 7 years before we met our first technician from outside our own company working in this field. And even our vocab had become customized to our own workshop. It's been with great delight that we've had the influences of technicians from around the world now that they've come to join us. But in the case of something like Lord of the Rings, of the 148 people we employed in the workshop, only 8 were brought in from outside this country. It's interesting to note that only 28 had ever worked on a feature film or television show before. So 120 people I had to train up from the ground, well, rather than train up, readapt their skills to suit the work that we needed in the film industry. But what was apparent, and has always been apparent, is that regardless of the fact that people may not have a career or a job that has been existing within the film industry, there is such an aptitude and a desire to achieve within the industry that we work in that we can find people from incredibly unassociated work that can bring their skills to ultimately bear on the complex design and manufacturing problems that we face on a daily basis.